Hey everybody. Doesn't matter if it's October, almost October or not. The fact is the harvest is still coming in fast and furious here on the Rancho, the urban homestead in the hood in Santa Rosa, California. And today I'm going to make something that you've probably never made before, tomato paste. Let's get underway here. Glad to have you along. And a big welcome to you. Yes, I'm pulling off plenty of great tomatoes still. And this is a relatively simple recipe, but it's going to take time to execute. There's some baking time and some other things. All that tomato paste is concentrated tomatoes, okay? Most of the liquid pulled out of them, they're pureed, milled, and it just comes together in a very fine sort of paste. So we're not talking about rocket science here, we're talking about tomato paste. And if you're not subscribed here to the channel, now would be a good time to subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications so you don't miss a thing here on the channel. Metal detecting, we've added fishing and crabbing, catch and cook demonstration videos, travel, heading down to Las Vegas. By the time you see this, I'll probably be down there. Just all kinds of good stuff. Vintage audio repairs, just we do it all here on the Rancho. Love you to be a part of it. First thing I need to do, you see, I have some water boiling in my big wok. We're going to take these tomatoes, we're going to I'm going to cut a little X in the bottom of each one of them, put them in, and let them be in there for about 30 seconds. And what that's going to do is loosen the skin. Okay, we're going to remove the skin, then we're going to seed them, and then we're going to puree it really fine. Okay, let's get started. All right, there's some beauties in here, aren't there? Let's try to get all of these stems out. And after I remove these, I'm going to put them, I have some cold water in the sink, and that's going to stop the cooking process. So I'm going to get about, I'm just making a little X in the bottom, which is going to make it easier to peel. And I'm probably going to do about 5 at a time here. It's a pretty straightforward, simple process. It doesn't matter if every tomato. This is really best with Roma tomatoes because Roma tomatoes have less juice and they have more meat, the San Marzano and all them. So they're really the preferred ones that you see grown a lot for tomatoes that are going to be dried tomatoes that are going to be made into sauces and all that. So don't be afraid of ripe tomatoes mean a lot of good flavor here. Okay, so I've got the first bunch going pretty good. And you have to enjoy cooking for this type of thing. The reward may seem small, maybe a quart of tomato paste, but that should theoretically last you for a whole year. Plus you have the bragging rights to tell people that, well, this is my own homemade tomato sauce, which, well, of course, not everybody can say that, right? So I think this is enough for the first batch. And let me see, I'm going to use my grabbers here and put them in quickly so they stay on about the same timeline here. In other words, they'll all be peelable. And as I'm putting them in, of course, the water level is rising. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of these blanched, and then I'll see you when it's time. I'll show you how we take the peel off. I'm going to put them in some ice water in the sink that's been all cleaned out, and see you guys in a bit. Now, when you make that X, you're going to be able to see on the bottom that you've given a natural peel point for the tomato. And instead of fumbling and trying to find a place to start the peel, you've already got a natural one made there. And that works really, really well. I highly recommend that way of doing things. Make your little X on top. It makes it so much easier. So this is where it's going to be a little bit messy, and I'm just pulling off the skin and just lining these up. And it's a very easy process. That skin comes off very willingly there, as you can see. And once that is down, it just remains to squeeze out all the seeds, cut these, and get all of the seeds out, which is important. And then we're left with a really good tomato core or meat that we can go ahead and turn into a paste. My total time in so far is about 15 minutes, I would say. And I'm working with 10 pounds of different varieties of tomatoes, and any variety will do. So I'll see you when we're all done here. This year I think we harvested about 100 pounds of tomatoes so far, and did, I think 4 gallons of red sauce, Italian sauce, which I'm quite proud of, because I don't think we basically used probably 95% of the harvest, which I think is a nice thing. I live in a city where there's a lot of fruit and nut trees that grow out in public places and also in people's yards, and I've said before, probably 90% of those fruits and nuts are never utilized. So it's really a colossal waste, especially when you think of the price of packaged goods like nuts and things now. What they charge for that is just something pretty amazing. So yeah, this is a great way to use all your harvest. And when you go ahead and squeeze out the seeds and cut these up, make sure you save the juice. You can also see my video. I show you a very easy way to enjoy making tomato soup with what you normally discard. A nice spicy tomato soup, which I think you'll find outstanding. Check out that video, and I think you'll enjoy it. Yes, waste not, want not. I know everybody thinks we kind of live in flush times, but right, it's good to always practice the habits of conservation, right? All peeled, ready to be juiced and cut up, and I'm going to do that next and put all of this in the pot over here. Obviously I'm going to trim off the ends and any places that the peel has stuck to it, because that's not what we want to use in the sauce. Okay, I'm going to spare you all that. Just cut them in half, squeeze it, get all the seeds out, and then put the bodies in there. Okay. Make sure you don't overload so you have room for them to move in there. All right, cover your ears for a minute. That should absolutely get rid of all the thick bits that are in there. And that's exactly what I'm looking for right here. Okay, so I'm going to finish up this process. See you guys in a bit. Alright guys, I've got it on the boil, not on the boil, but I got it on the heat. We're going to bring it up to a boil and then simmer it, stirring every 20 minutes till it thickens the consistency of the paste. I'm gonna add a teaspoon or two of salt too, just to give it a little bit of good taste to it. So, believe it or not, now it's just a waiting game. So, go do something you want to do out there, and just come back every 20 minutes and give it a stir, like you're an Italian grandma. Don't forget to stir that sauce. All right. Been about a half hour or so, and you can see by the markings on the side we've already reduced this quite a bit. So see you guys in about an hour or so. This should really look good. Okay, it's been about an hour and 10 minutes, and you can see it's really starting to thicken up now. So I'm going to suggest at this point, after about an hour and 20 minutes or so, give or take, that you stir a little more often, maybe every 10 minutes instead of every 20 minutes. It's really at the tomato sauce stage right now, but I'm enjoying the process, and I hope you are too. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications. We're always doing interesting stuff out and about and here on the Rancho. Look at how beautifully that has work down. It's really starting to look like a paste now, isn't it? So here's where you want to kind of stay on top of it a little bit, just to make sure that you don't have any burning. Okay, you've come this far, invested about 3 hours, so you could have tomato paste for a year. Don't blow it now. There she is, all jarred up. Came out to about a pint of tomato paste. And the thing is, you think, well, that's not a lot until you go to have a taste of it. Pow! This stuff is so intense. The flavor of it is unbelievable. You're not done yet. One last thing that you want to do is you want to take your jar. This is really concentrated. That was like a mule kick between the eyes there. You want to take some olive oil, and you want to make sure that you cover up your paste like so. And then we're going to close that up, and it's going to definitely be refrigerator. We're not Hunts, we're not Del Monte, right? This is the way we do it. So, all right, guys. Well, I had an excellent time making this today. I'm so glad because, well, the taste is incredible. The taste is so intense. Well, it excites me for using this for dishes. So you don't need a lot of it, or you're not going to pour the whole jar in. You'll blow people out of their seats if you have spaghetti or something like that. Delicately, you want to just use it sparingly. So, you know, this is concentrated 10 pounds of tomatoes right here in about 4 hours work. Number two, I'm proud of myself because I used everything that came out of the garden in a way. I think I planted 12 tomato plants on the Rancho this year, the homestead in the hood here in Santa Rosa, California. And I think we used a good 95% of that 100 pounds of tomatoes. And guess what? We're going to be picking tomatoes through Halloween here. They're still coming fast and furious. Anyway, love you to be a part of it. Guys, if you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications for so much stuff. Yeah, they say variety TV is dead, right? That died in the 80s, but variety lives here on YouTube. So there it is. We make tomato paste on the Rancho. So thumbs up or appreciate it, guys, and thanks so much for watching.